Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we in my group will be presenting our speaking and listening skills assignment, which is informative speech. So this is me and my roommates, Zaky and Alif. So, the presentation is starting right now. As you can see in front of you, we are going to talk about Among Us. So some of you maybe know what Among Us is, but some of you maybe don't. So what is Among Us? Let's find out. So Among Us is an online multiplayer social deduction game which was developed and published by the American company Innersloth. It was released on mobile on 15th of July 15th of June, 2018. So Among Us takes place in a space-themed setting where players each take on two roles, mostly crewmates and a predetermined number of imposters. So the gameplay goes like this. Each game usually has 4 to 10 players and 1 to 3 random players who will be picked as imposters, while the rest are crewmates. So as a crewmate, you will be given mini-game or task to finish around the map. So each task varies from each maps. For example, this map has this set of tasks, and for this map has their own set of tasks. Also, to win, you have to identify imposters and eliminate them. So, next up is imposters. So in this game, imposters are like the bad guys, as they have the ability to covertly sabotage the map, traverse through vents, and kill crewmates. Only imposters know who the other imposters are, and for the imposters to win, they must either kill the crewmates until the number of crewmates and imposters are the same, or a critical sabotage goes unresolved. So, in this game, there is something called the voting system. Whenever someone finds a dead body that the imposter had killed, they can report it using the report button. The gameplay will be halted for a while and a meeting will occur. Whoever with the most vote will be ejected and die. As you can see right here, this is our first picture on the left. The person in blue or W, his name is in red because he is the imposter. So whoever has the name in red is the imposter, while the name in white is a crewmate. So as an imposter, he can kill any other crewmates and sabotage the map. On the picture on the right, look, there's a body, which means that W had killed one person and he can also report the body. So in this game, not just crewmates but also imposters can report if you see a body. And then, should he press the report button, boom, the game will be halted for a while and then screen will show a dead body reported. So when the dead body is reported, a meeting will occur, as you see right here. So this is the meeting, and each person can only vote once, which means that they can only vote one person. As you can see right here, Dummy 2 has the most vote, so he is ejected. But Dummy 2 was not the imposter, so it says that one imposter remains, which is W. So as I said before, each map has their own set of tasks. So in this game there are 3 maps. The first map is Polus, which is a planet base. Next up is Mira HQ, a headquarters building. And finally, the Scout, which is inside of a spaceship. And now, I would like to pass to Zaky for the next slides.
Thank you, Hakim. Now moving on, I will be explaining how Among Us rose to popularity. So, how did Among Us become such a sudden phenomenon nearly 2 years after it launched? So big that it became the most streamed game on Twitch, and its developers cancelled plans for a sequel to keep working on it. Well, the quick and simple answer to it is Twitch streamers. But there's more to it than that because people aren't just watching Among Us, they're playing it thanks to Mafia slash Werewolf and the COVID-19 pandemic. So, for the first reason, Twitch. For those of you who don't know, Twitch is the world's leading live streaming platform for gamers and the things they love. Video games are generally perceived as solitary engagements for gamers. However, the reality is different. People like to watch others play games, which is something nobody saw coming in the early days of video gaming. Twitch's business model works on an addictive appeal of video gaming personalities and the viewers who pay to watch them. While initially released in 2018 to little mainstream attention, it received an influx of popularity in 2020 due to due to many well-known Twitch streamers and YouTubers playing it. Starting in May, a pair of large streamers named Admiral Bulldog and Sing Sing started playing a few hours of Among Us, giving it a big boost in popularity. Among Us was gaining thousands of players and many more Twitch viewers over July, August, and September. On September 3rd, Among Us was downloaded from Google Play Store more than 10 million times, already a huge number, but by September 8th, more than 50 million downloads were recorded, and by September 21st, more than 100 million downloads were recorded. Moving on to the second reason, Mafia slash Werewolf. Among Us is a new game, obviously. It came out in 2018, but at heart, it's much older than that. Among Us is the latest popular adaptation of Mafia, aka Werewolf. It is a social deception game about a group of players trying to identify the traitors in their midst. For those of you who don't know, Mafia, also known as Werewolf, is a social deduction game created by Dmitry Davidov in 1986. The game models a conflict between two groups: an informed minority, which would be the mafiosi or the werewolf, and an uninformed majority, which would be the villagers. At the start of the game, each player is secretly assigned a role affiliated with one of these teams. The game has two alternating phases. First, a night role, during which the minority may covertly kill the majority, and second, a day role, in which surviving players debate the identities of players and vote to eliminate a suspect. The game continues until a faction achieves its win condition. Therefore, Among Us is basically another adaptation of Mafia. A big part of Among Us' success is simply that Mafia is a fun, endlessly playable game. It scales well to big groups. Trying to decide who to trust is always tense. Getting away with murder and turning the whole team against an innocent player is always a thrill. Now for the third and final reason is the COVID-19 pandemic. Thanks to our beloved friend COVID-19, we were all forced into a lockdown and had to remain in our homes for a long period of time. Now, what happened during the lockdown, you might ask? Well, we got bored. With the need to stay inside one's home to avoid infection, we were searching for something to bring us back to life. Our savior? Its name was Among Us. Many people flock to online games as a substitute for social interactions they would otherwise miss. Other than that, Among Us is easily accessible because it's free and does not require high-end devices to run the game. And therefore, Among Us has been frequently compared to Fall Guys as both became popular party games during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now that sums up my explanation on the rise of Among Us. Let's move on to Alif to explain his part.
Thank you, Zaky. So now we're going to talk about impacts that the game has made to the society in general. The game is at a point where it's at its peak and all the new players come from across the globe. The game is just blowing up right now. So my first point is a trend. According to the statistic given, Among Us was not doing so well when it officially released in 2018. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the game has to become a trend. Next, heavily affect the meme culture. As we all know, the meme community over the years has really made us all smile or chuckle. Memes are based on what everybody can relate to in life. It's like a picture-based comedy. When people are bored, they find entertainment. With the situation right now, the meme community has been recycling memes based on pictures from the internet or newly made pictures from their own source. Among Us has also joined the meme community with their content being used in memes. As you can see in the slides, here are some examples of those memes. Next, the community evolves the game. Moving forward, even among the community, people have been making their own game mode, such as hide and seek, to add more fun to the game. And I have to say, it is pretty interesting having played it myself. Here are some of the pictures that you can use as a guide to use the hide and seek mode. Moving on to the next point, obsession towards the game. Not only are the fanatics not only are the fanatics making modes of their own, they're also beginning to do cosplays and even buy the game's merchandise. The community that the game has built really is a bunch of interesting people. Wow! And that brings us to my last point. The game also succeeds by bringing people from around the world together to play the game. We as a player can meet such interesting players from across the globe. For example, we don't have to look too far. Among Us has also a group of students sorry, Among Us has also brought MSU students together. I recall that one day I saw a group of students at the library in a circle playing Among Us. It was certainly a sight to see. Moving on to the next point, I'll pass it up to Zaky.
All right, thank you, Alif. To conclude, Among Us didn't start out as a popular game in 2018, but due to the situation in 2020, they've become one of the most successful games of the year. Therefore, it goes to show that it doesn't matter how you start a race, it's how you finish it. Among Us also helps to improve players' creative and critical thinking skills, thus sharpening their thinking skills to a certain level. Language barrier will also not be a problem for part of the game and the players, mostly because they type or speak in English. It helps players to further improve their communication skills since communicating in the game is the key to winning. That is all from the three of us, and I hope you've all enjoyed our presentation today. Thank you for your undivided attention.